Normally, this is the part of the show where I say, "What's up, Isaac?" But Isaac's not here. He's joining us in just a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and intro our special guest, Matt Warmbier. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I feel great. I'm on time.
Yeah.
Almost zero computer issues. So I feel like that's a win
That's
so
amazing.
far.
Yeah. It's a rarity around here, honestly. So Isaac's having some computer issues. Actually, we just transferred. You transferred your computer issues to Isaac. So
which I feel fine with. He probably doesn't appreciate that, but like I've been like live streaming for 4 or 5 years, and the early years were always like, for me, like an absolute disaster every time I went live. So whenever I go live and it's like, oh, hey, you can hear me and you can see me. It's wild. It's a win. That's an absolute win.
Yeah. We've had some issues with our internet service around here. First of all, a car right around Christmas, a car plowed through. We don't know it was a car. It was a big rig. Something plowed through a line right outside of our house and tore part of our house off. Which was a lot of fun.
Merry Christmas, geez.
It was like 2 weeks before Christmas.
Oh,
took out a power line and everything. But Isaac will attest to it that live stream prior to Christmas was the worst thing ever. I felt so bad because we had Fortessa Elise on the show.
Oh,
she's
no.
Such an amazing guest, and she's so much fun to be around. And my internet connection just sucked.
Isn't it the worst? And you get like really sweaty. Maybe that's only me, but like whenever something like that happens, like I feel like I'm suddenly drenched in all of my fear comes out of my armpits. So. Oh, somebody's muted.
No, I'm just pretending.
Oh, sorry. I was about to say, I need to text him. So,
yeah, I don't know what happened. No. I tried to pair all my channels and it just crashed. So
who needs it?
It's on yours. That's all. Everybody's watching One Board Family anyway.
Oh no,
everybody.
No, everybody's watching you. People come here for Isaac anyway.
I mean, that's what I'm here for.
That's right. So I was going to go, hey, what's up, Isaac? And you weren't here, so I had to do it to nothing. So
you can ask me now.
Okay, what's up, Isaac?
Not much. Things are going good. Good. Just getting stuff together. I got a weird reflection back there. I got a new toy, and it's kicking the reflection there.
Is it the shark head?
The
Pac-Man arcade.
Oh, nice. You can't see it in mine, but I have an X-Men one back here.
Oh, the 4-player X-Men one?
Yeah, it's so great. I love it so much.
Nice. That's awesome.
Oh, we're going to be talking about that.
Story.
Oh, we're going to talk about that.
It's so embarrassing, but I can't wait to talk about it.
Hear about it. I didn't hear about this one.
We'll get there.
Oh, you didn't?
Oh, you'll hear.
You probably slipped on my tears that are on the ground.
That's hilarious. I knew. I wondered who wet the floor. So
let's go ahead and kick Hank out.
Man.
Man.
So I prepped Matt before you got in here. Oh, yes. Look at that.
Yeah, kick him out.
Hank here for Matt and Ryan. There we go. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Hank. So anyway, I've already done the intro. Matt, you're with Love Thy Nerd. We really enjoy your organization, and so we wanted to have you on the show because we got to hang out during Origins, and it's one of those things where anytime the Love Thy Nerd folks are at a convention, you see them, they're there, they're serving, they're loving people, and so we wanted to have you on, talk a little about your organization and also just about how the convention went and all the fun we had.
I'm so glad to be here. I always love being a part of live streams where I just jump on and talk,
and you don't have to organize and plan. And
it's my favorite. But it's great. I also really like you too. So it's good to chat with you all. So
here we are.
Awesome. So what you got for our first question, Isaac?
Our opening question, and one of my favorite things when it comes to conventions is, what did you eat? So what was the best thing you ate at Origins? What stood out? What was your this was good?
I've been prepping. I saw these questions a couple of days ago, and I had to think about it because I did eat a lot of food. And when North Market's right by Origins, I mean, it's not like going to Philly and going to Reading Station, but I would call it comparable. So I did eat a lot of the hot chicken there. I can't think of the name of the place, but it's the one upstairs. It's great.
Takedown.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, which is great. And it almost took my spot. But the very last day, I don't know like what it was. Like maybe it was like divine intervention or something like that. Like something happened. And I just stopped and I turned and I saw Hoyo's Kitchen, which I was like, well, what is this?
I saw it. I didn't.
Right. And I had walked by it a few times and just didn't really stop. And I was like, all right, well, there's no line.
Try it.
It looks and smells good. And it's a Somali cuisine. And I've never had Somali cuisine before. And so I walked up and I said, hello, I don't know what to order. What would you recommend? And like the lady that was working just kind of walked me through. I was like, okay, what would you go between these two? And I ended up getting like goat over spicy rice with some lentils and spinach. Nice. And it was just incredible. And then they're like, do you want some of this? I don't remember the name of it, but it was like basically fermented bread. And I was like, absolutely I do. Cause why? Like if you recommend it, I'm going for it. And so like you use the bread to dip into the spicy rice and the goat came on a bone. And like, it wouldn't like, I love foods like that, but I'd never had anything like it. And it was incredible. And I will definitely be going back in the future.
Nice. Amazing. I did not go there. Did you go there, Ryan?
I saw it. I did not go there. So,
okay.
So this is the first year that we didn't eat at North Market, but we did have Happy Greek. I know we did have Happy Greek twice. The Happy Greek is down the street from Origins from the convention center, and it's got this back patio area, and the weather was so nice again this year. Mm-hmm. And we just sat outside and ate on this patio area, the stone patio area. The first night we went because we were getting there much later than we had anticipated on Wednesday night. We actually missed getting with you guys, Isaac, as you guys went to dinner. We were like, you know what?
Like just missed us.
Yeah. The thought of jumping in a car again to go somewhere was just out of the question.
No, totally got it.
It ended up with
you guys
traffic,
had a long
it was
drive.
12 hours, you know. It was rough. And so we went to the Happy Greek because we knew what we would get. We knew what we would expect. It was fantastic. Then the couple nights later, we hung out with Brian and Will of Cloak and Meeple, hung out with them for the night and played games that night after we got back from dinner. But we took them to the Happy Greek. Man, I had the chicken souvlaki pita. That was ridiculous. Like, nice. I had kind of passed over that, went for some other different things, the falafel and stuff like that. That was stupid, man. Like I've thought about it like 4 or 5 times, you know, just the flavor and the sauce. Oh man, it was so good. So good.
Well, you've sold me. I'm in.
Man, I know. So now I'm trying to think. I'm like, do I need to go to Ohio for anything?
I mean,
probably.
Bob's gonna kind of drive through that way here in a couple weeks. So
okay,
heading to Indianapolis. So
yeah, that's true. I'll tell Bob pick me up and mail it back.
For me, it's almost always. I remember when we found the best chicken place down there and got Eagle. I love the Eagle's fried chicken. I love all their sides, and every year, right, that's our go back to place. But something new I tried this year is in the North Market, they had the ramen bowl restaurant.
Oh, okay. There's so much good food on there. I had that too, and I almost want to change my answer. Sorry, go ahead.
It was delicious.
Yes.
It was
very good.
And I got it on Thursday. Right before, because every day you incrementally go back to the North Market, it's more and more chaos. And Friday I waited a while for something else, but I think the round bowl is my favorite. Friday I did the seafood place, and they have lobster mac and cheese. That's just amazing.
I heard about that. I heard that's
so good. Crack a big lobster claw right on top of the mac and cheese. They make it to order. Good. It's super good. But the ramen bowl was good. It was different. I realized it wasn't enough for lunch, and so the next day I loaded up. I was like, I'm gonna get a lot more, because it's physically exhausting, right? Like, oh, poor us, right? But it's physically exhausting. You got to fuel up, and the ramen bowl didn't quite do it, but it was still amazing.
Yeah, that place is definitely worth visiting again. And I wanted an honorable mention. I totally forgot until this moment right here. I had some lamb sliders down the street about a mile away on the like it was Sunday evening. Everyone was gone pretty much except us. And we're like, we need food. And we ran into a neighbor of where the Airbnb we were staying at. Is like, you have to try the lamb sliders. And we're like, we'll give them a go. And they were so good. So I don't remember the name of the place. Yeah, me too.
The pierogies at North Market are like the size of your face.
They're best. Amazing. I had those twice last year.
Oh, they're really good. They had these potato pancakes at that Polish place. And the guy was hustling them. He's like, you got to try these. Are the best thing I got. They're going to be sold out if you come back later. And sure enough, though, multiple days we went, I remember looking and like, oh, hey, sold out potato pancakes. They were super good.
Nice.
But this is not a food show, even though
not yet.
Even though we've been accused of it many times.
Even though Ryan actively eats candy on this show often.
Oh man, yeah.
I have to stop myself from eating during live streams because it's bad. Like there's candy like right here, and like I'll just find it in my hand and then in my mouth, and like I'm talking and chewing. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't know how this happened, but here we are.
Welcome to some ASMR candy chew.
Yep.
All right,
this is the segment where I eat something sticky in the microphone.
Coming close.
You haven't seen our show, obviously.
So talking about games, what was the best new thing to you that you saw at Origin? So not necessarily new, but new to you, and you were like, oh, like hit you out of left field. You weren't expecting it, you weren't looking for it. You're just like, oh wow, this is really cool.
There was a game that's called Black Hole Rainbows that I probably walked by their booth.
I did over and over,
like so many times until I was told separately that I had to check it out. And I was like, okay, like I'll check it out Saturday morning before everyone else, gets too busy, and we'll go and we'll sit. And I wasn't expecting a whole lot. I don't know why. I just like, I don't know. The name to me was like, it didn't draw me in, and not like, you never want to judge a game or a book or whatever by its cover or its name. Like let the game or whatever speak for itself. And so, finally went and sat down, and we played with the developer and his helper, and their 3 LTN guys were playing there. And it was like, it just was not what I was expecting at all. And we all ended up getting it, and others ended up getting it and bringing it back, and just thinking about all the ways, like, because you can play up to 6 players, and just is a very unassuming game that really, in the game, you're trying to collect gems to create a rainbow. Like there's 7 different colors, trying to collect those in order to pour those in the middle and get a coin. First one to a certain amount of coins wins. Pretty straightforward. But then they add these cards that kind of just add this chaos element to the total play. And we played a round, and they're like, yeah, don't play cards the first round. Like once we get the second round. So we, went around the first time. I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm getting some gems here. I'm pouring in the middle, okay, sure. And then the second round came, and I was like, boom. Like it just went crazy. And like, that's where like the whole game was meant to be played, just like with these cards. So just not what I was expecting. So new to me, loved it, have taught my family, and they like have played it on their own volition, like without me, like while I've been at work. And they've all really enjoyed the low complexity level. Like, sometimes you don't always want a brain burner when you're playing a game. This is not a brain burner, which I'm not speaking down about it. Like sometimes you just want a game you can sit and play and, hey, here's a card, you do it. It's like, but they all have loved it so much, and you just keep going back to it. And the price point was incredible. Like for the components, like I was just blown away. Like they could have charged it, it was a third less than it should have been for sure.
I walked by that booth multiple times, and it wasn't until Bob told me, he was like, listen, I checked it out. I got a copy. Like it's so fun. It's ridiculous.
It was really great.
Yeah. So it's that art that draws you away from the game. I struggle with that because sometimes I'll look at the art of a game and I'm like, there's a city building game that was there, and the components, everything was solid. Looked at it. I saw a tutorial. It was a little more expensive than I thought it should be. A little more expensive, but the reason why I didn't pick it up, the reason why I didn't spend my money on it, was because the tiles were really muddy, like color-wise, color choices, how bunched together every single tile looked, and I didn't spend my money on it strictly because of the artwork.
It's enough to turn you off,
and it was one of those things where I passed by that booth, must have been 6-7 times, didn't even stop, and I regret that now. So
hopefully you'll see him again.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to play it. I expect to play it in a few weeks at Gen Con one of the evenings. So
Bob has to come back into town before I get to play it.
He's driving back right now.
He's driving back now. So I actually have a copy of the thing that surprised me. Cristallo. This is an older game from Deepwater Games. I didn't know anything about this game. I stopped by, talked to Jacob over at Deepwater for a little bit. Okay. Yeah. So I knew nothing about this game, but there's a game called Gentle Rain. I am not a solo gamer. I'm not a solo gamer in any way, but Gentle Rain is out of print. It's amazing. It's a fantastic puzzle. It's a solo game. You can play cooperative with people. But Cristallo is kind of the, not replacement, but if you can't get Gentle Rain, which you can't, you need to get Cristallo. So
Cristallo really is great. And again, I'm not a solo gamer either. There's a few that I'll play. Yeah. Okay, one other I'll play Marvel Champions by myself, and I'll play Cristallo. And what I really like about it is that you can play it solo, but you can also play with someone else. Aaron and I just did a live stream a couple weeks ago where we played the expansions and we played together. It's a solo player game, but making decisions together, it still was so fun.
Absolutely. Nice. This one took me by complete surprise because I did not expect to see. I saw the gems. I was like, okay, that's fine. It's a big black cover with some nice colors on it. I didn't expect to like it, and I played through it sitting right there, tried to defeat the dragon.
Did you win?
No, I couldn't place one gem. Messed up. So Marty tuning in live from California. Thanks, Marty.
Howdy, Marty.
Hello.
So my big surprise was going over to one of my favorite booths for small card games, Amigo games. They had Linko sitting out. We demoed it. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll buy this. And as I'm looking up and down their shelves, I'm like, got it. I'm like, what is this? And the guy's like, it's some old game. It hasn't been selling well. It's been around forever. I'm like, okay, $15, I'll try it. And everybody, I think, got a chance to play this. Once Bob and I got it, and we started introducing this to people, they're like, what is it?
I liked it a lot less than you two.
Oh man, this game is hilarious. Yeah. It's all luck. Did you get a chance to play this, Matt?
I didn't know.
It's basically a hand of 1 through 15. We're playing a card. You're going to get a positive number point or a negative number point card that flips up in the middle, and you're going to all play a card face down. We flip them. If it's positive points, whoever plays the highest gets it. If it's negative points, whoever plays the lowest gets it. So you don't want those. But in the case of ties knock each other out, and the next highest or the next lowest gets it.
Okay. That sounds pretty straightforward and fun.
On the back, it says a top-rated card game in Europe for over 30 years.
Whoa.
They said they brought this.
Not in America.
The last day I went back to pick up another copy. I ended up buying 5 copies of this thing.
Whoa.
And the guy goes, I said, is this popular for you? He said, we had 5 cases of it and we're about sold out. I don't know what happened. I'm like, oh. Bob and I started showing people. And everybody started going back.
You're welcome.
And I was like, this is a really good game. He's like, yeah, we haven't really featured it. It kind of came out for Amigo during the pandemic. It was like 2019 late release for him. So it just kind of got shelved. And it's great. It plays up to 5. I played it with 8 because I used 2 and smashed it together. It was even more chaotic. So Ryan would probably love that part of the chaos.
It reminds me of some of the games that I played when the kids were really young. Just kind of ridiculous luck-based card games.
100% luck, ridiculous, and silly game.
Do you guys remember the game? It was in a white box with just black lettering. We didn't play test this game at all.
Oh, yes.
I never played it, but I know what you're talking about.
I had that in the expansion. Yeah,
that was really popular for a moment. And I just remember playing that. It's like, oh yeah, penguins with missiles. They win all of a sudden.
It's like,
okay.
It was very chaotic, more chaotic than what this sounds like. It was, you had no idea.
It reminds me of that. It reminds me of I played that a lot when we had it, And then I was like, okay,
that's kind of where I was at with that game too. We played it enough, and I was like, well, it's time for me to pass this on because I feel like I've seen everything at this point.
Yeah, this is going to be
for some really good stories.
Con bag game. Like it's easy to play quick hand waiting for dinner.
You don't have a bag, you have a shopping cart. So
you have a
I do have a shopping cart. I borrowed from my friends Jason and Becky and Chad.
Thanks, Jason and Becky.
The last day Chad looks at me, he's hauling his big bag. He goes, I was giving you crap about this, but man, that would be
really it looked awesome. I wish I had went to.
Chad said I was walking next to Chad, and he said, I think that Isaac might be onto something with his board game baby stroller.
Well, Bob
call it Buggy. That's like a buggy.
Yeah, board game Buggy. Yeah,
board game Buggy. There it is.
Yeah, all play is going to be releasing the board game Buggy. They're going to be all over Gen Con hallways. So good. It's
just going to be the same bag, just with wheels and a handle. That's all it is. Like no different.
Yeah, watch your toes, people. Speaking of difficulties at the con week, I thought this was kind of a unique question to throw in. What makes the con week hard? Because we were there you guys were all there the whole time, right? Wednesday, everybody got in Wednesday to Sunday. Like it's a 5-day extravaganza. Like what makes the con week hard?
Yeah, and this is one of the longer ones. I can't think of one that's any longer. I mean, okay, I'll say it because I'm sure just being away from family is hard. But I feel like I'm gone a lot, so like I'm kind of gotten into that rhythm of like I'm gone for this time, I'm home. We know how it works, but I think that from like con to con, the thing that is the hardest, at least for me, is staying up until between 12 and 2 or later, and then getting up. I don't sleep in ever, no matter what time I go to bed. It's like, 7 o'clock, that's the latest you'll ever sleep in. Get your body ready because your day is going. So like just the constant go and trying not to like destroy my body with gross energy drinks the whole weekend, trying to find like, something like somewhat natural, like, and making sure I drink enough water. And then with that, I think every morning I feel like I wake up and I'm like, hold on, hello, like your voice is just shot for the first 2 hours. So just the physical toll on your body, that's what I'll say.
I would say this convention, I think Aaron and I go to these conventions together. So we miss the kids for sure. Like by the time Saturday night rolls around, we're like, man, I really wish the kids were here. You really miss the kids. And so Aaron and I go to these conventions together, which is awesome to have my spouse there with me and us hanging out and making memories. But I think for Aaron, she would probably mention that like the interactiveness of the con long term is hard. She's very much an introvert. So at different points in the convention, she stops, she looks at me, she goes, hey, I gotta go sit somewhere by myself. I'm going to read a book and I'll see you later. And I was like, okay. And I'm much more an extrovert through and through, but I think same thing, toll on your body. I don't stay up late with you guys. I'm usually heading back to the hotel about 12:31. But
I don't stay up as late as Isaac does, and whoever he runs into. I can't do that.
We don't hate our bodies that much.
So you just need more beauty sleep. It's fine.
I can't sleep in. I told you,
I wake up.
It's still 7:30. Sleep. You need sleep. Period. Yeah. I mean, I sleep more than I ever did. I mean, I used to like thrive daily on 3 to 4 hours of sleep, and that was enough.
You're getting old.
But now I'm hitting more like if I get 5 to 6, that's 5 is pretty good.
I want 6 hours. I want 6 hours.
6 is a lot for me, so I'm good. But physical toll, 100%, right? And the water thing, like I'm super aware of water when I'm at work and home, and then the con comes and it's like 4 p.m. and I was like, did all I drink today is like that one energy drink and a half a Gatorade? What happened today?
Terrible.
Yeah, and it hit me Thursday night. I was from like Thursday mid-afternoon to the evening. I was a mess. I had the worst headache. I felt awful. But was like, I just want to play games with my friends. I'm just going to push through this. Yep. And next morning I was okay, but I was dehydrated and eat well that day, I don't think. But yeah, physical toll is huge, right? And being away from family, I get to have my son come to these with me. He's actually going to go to Gen Con for the first time this year, and he's going to work a Wise Wizard booth with me. So he's like super excited. He talked to
That's awesome.
Deb about helping with them, so he's going to do that. So but for me, one of the things that's hard for these cons is not being able to do everything I want with everyone I want to, and like I want to I want to get everybody together. So I'm constantly messaging people, hey, this is where we're hanging out. This is where we're playing games. Come play games. Like, and when we play Blob Party, we can get 100 people to play it. Green team wins 100 people, right? But like, I was like, oh, I want to play Roll of the Top. Well, it plays 6, but 12 people want to play a game together right now, right? So like, green team wins out, right? So even like, I point this out, I messaged Ryan today. We didn't play a thing together.
You played Thunder Road with Aaron. And I ended up, because things would fill up, and then I'm like, well, I want to teach this, and somebody's asking me to teach this, and I'm like, okay. And I was teaching a lot of 5 and 6 player games that couldn't expand. It was it. That was all it was. And so it just became one of those things where I didn't play as many big party games this year, but I felt like I had a lot of meaningful 4 to 6 player games.
And you were over there teaching that family nights with the kid, and I looked over, I was like, I want to play a game with Ryan, but Ryan's like, I mean, we're teachers, right? By key, like we end up teaching a lot of games, and that's okay, and that you kind of miss out getting to play with people sometimes, and that's okay.
I was playing games with Seth and his kids. We actually met at Origins in 2019 because of the blog, because of our podcast. Seth sought us out and said, "Hey, can we hang out?" And I was like, "Absolutely." Awesome. And so we, it was a time to connect, and it was, play games with Cloak and Meeple. Those guys are awesome. Really enjoy hanging out with them. So.
There's a lot of things that are tough, but
that's right. Hank,
and it was a long convention too. Like, you should be able to play with everybody, right?
It should.
I get it.
I didn't want to play with Ryan. Anyway,
I played games with Hank, which is way better than playing games with you.
100%.
Yeah, I take that.
Yeah, 100%. So what game surprised you, and why?
What game surprised me? Oh, okay. So I was with GameFound. And I worked with them half a day every day, and we do that with Love Thy Nerd. We put people in booths to help those companies and developers staff their booths with competent and passionate people, and I need to fill a gap. So didn't really know a lot of the games going into it. Knew Nemesis, and I knew Raw, and I played a couple of the other ones, but one of the ones people kept coming up, and Ryan, you're one of those people. Was like, hey, tell me about Beast. And I'm like, I would love to tell you about Beast, but I have never played it before. Let me tell you what I do know about it. And I, explain it's like one versus all, and trying to, hidden movement. And so I was able to play it. I think I got to the table maybe Friday night, finally, and took the copy, took it into the free play area and played it. And I was like, I don't know if I liked that. Like I was like, it wasn't for me. It didn't hit all the things I wanted it to. And in the game, you're a wolf or a beast or something, and the hunters are trying to hunt you down, and you're moving around in secret, killing animals and killing the hunters and trying not to be caught. And so I played it. I was like, it just wasn't for me. And then the next day, I came back, and one of the guys who taught me, I was like, actually, we played this, and this part of it wrong. And I was like, oh, interesting. Okay, well, let's look more into that. And so I was able to kind of go back to it with that information, and I was able to teach it. And after Sunday, I was like, actually, now that I know how to play it right and get the full concept of the game, I actually would like to have this game and play it again. So that one I wasn't expecting, and even the art's great in that game. I think that's what draws a lot of people in. It looks super cool, and that did when you don't have good gameplay, it's not going to keep you around. But when you play the game wrong, that really won't keep you around. So,
absolutely.
So I think I'll say the Beast as soon as you play it the right way.
So Beast was my number one game coming into Origins that I wanted to see. I thought so. I went as far as emailing the guys at Mid-Hall Games and saying, hey, would love to sit down with you guys, do some video work with you on Beast. And they were like, yeah, we're in Sweden, so that's not going to happen. But have fun. And I was like, oh, geez. So I went in saying, okay, whoever's teaching Beast, I need to get with them, and I want to do some footage of the game. And that's when me and you, Matt, we were like, you know each other through the internet, you know? And so we talked, and you didn't know it. Nobody over there knew it. I was like, how am I going to play this game that I was anticipating for like the past 2 weeks? I've been like, oh man, I really want to play this game. And then I saw you guys struggling with it. We were playing like 2 tables away from you the night that you learned how to play Beast. And I was just like, they've been there for like 2.5 hours. And I hope that somebody else wants to learn it, because I'm going to feel really bad going back.
I think I came over to you and you're like, what do you think? I was like, no, not for me.
And that even dampened, like it dampened it for me. I was like, crap, now I don't know if I want to learn it, you know?
Well, we value each other's opinions on things, right? Like
we really do.
Like, especially because we know in a circle of people that like we play a lot of games.
Yes.
And we may not like the same stuff, but there's a like, dude, that's like, no.
You at least know the value and for the person it's for. Yeah. Like if
100%.
Yes.
Having heard you say the way that it changed for you, Matt, I do want Beast now. So I do. I'm going to try because that seems like that is a game style that I really like. The one versus many, but I like the quicker play of it. And that's what I feel like I've heard it does well. So
it reminded me a lot of Scotland Yard, like the old Scotland Yard game. What's the Dracula? No, what was the game? Fury of Dracula. Like I have not played that one, but I hear it's similar to that as well. So
I see. I would love that. So, so my surprise would be Forges of Ravenshire. That is a dice placement game. And the reason why it was on my radar was because it's currently on Sovereignty, and Danny over at Sovereignty said that it's really, really good. And I was like, okay, I got to check it out. It was on Kickstarter, missed the Kickstarter. I thought the art style was really cool. These badgers and, whatever, forging these weapons for people. And it is fantastic. It is great dice placement. You're placing them out. It reminds me of a mixture. So they related it to Coimbra, which I really love. I haven't played it in years, but just placing out the dice, taking a dice back, putting on your board, allocating dice, getting these bonuses, triggering all these different things in your foundry. It's really good. Like Forges of Ravenshire, it comes out next spring. It fulfills, and I will have that at the next summer convention I go to. Like I have to own that. So
I remember Danny was telling me about that as well, and I forgot like names and games. There's so many, but now that you're talking about it, it all brought it back, and I'm also interested in that.
See, I would play it on Sovereignty just because it's not going to be physically available for a year. So I've got to play it on Sovereignty. So, what about you, Isaac?
I was looking at the Facebook chat and it opens the audio, so it like backtracked the audio on my.
Oh, nice.
I was like, what's going on?
I can hear myself.
Why is he repeating himself? I was probably most surprised by Thunder Road Vendetta for a couple of reasons. One, I was surprised at how quickly that game sold out, lightning fast. The deluxe Chrome edition. 2, I was surprised at how much everybody loved it, because it's like, oh, well, what we said, circle of people that you trust. I'm going to play it. I'm going to try it. 3, racing games are not my favorite type of game. In fact, I will play them, but my favorite is what's the card one? Downforce.
Oh yeah,
that's my favorite one. And I didn't particularly love Heat. If I'm being honest, Heat was.
Oh
fun.
Really? Okay.
I would play it again if somebody put it. If somebody put it on the table and was like, I want to play Heat, I'd say, yeah, I'll jump in.
I want it to be a little bit less expensive, but Heat, I usually go with Downforce as well.
But Thunder Road Vendetta got introduced to me the night that I had my throbbing headache, and I got 2 of my 3 cars gone in the first before the first map disappeared.
You got railed.
And I was like, okay. This, and the game just kind of drugged because I wasn't quite eliminated, right? So the map kept going, but I had 1 turn every round, right? And so that didn't feel great, right? I'm not a huge player elimination game player. That being said, we played it again 4th of July, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
3rd, 2nd, somewhere there. I played with local friends, with Hank, Gene, Gene, and Jason and myself. And once again, I got trounced. First one out.
Yeah.
However, in a new light of feeling better, right, and playing it, I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved the chaos. It's a game you got to lean into the chaos for.
You do.
Right? You have to be okay with the chaos, because it's dice rolling with more dice rolling. Like, you got to be okay with things may go your way or they horrifically will not.
Yeah.
And it was fun. I enjoyed it. So my surprise was kind of the like up, down, up that I felt with the game. I'm really glad I ended up picking it up. I grabbed AJ's copy from him after he upgraded. He sold me his copy, and I'm happy with this version because this retail version is gret. Like,
I have the Kickstarter edition with the wash cars, and all the extra ammo packs.
You got the chrome one,
and then I bought the chrome one. So Aaron told me going into Origins Father's Day gift, any game you want, and I was like, the chrome edition is $140. There's no way that is a Father's Day gift. You know, I'm thinking a couple of years ago I got Fleet the Dice game as a Father's Day gift.
That's good.
Well, you banked it a little bit. Like, don't spend too much then, and save the rest of that for the now. Okay.
That's true. So I was buying. I'm sitting there with 1 expansion, waiting in line at the restoration booth. I've got 1 expansion. I'm sitting there. I'm like, well, 1 expansion. This is what I'm getting. And Erin looks at me and she goes, "Get Chrome." I was like, no, that is a lot of stupid money. And she's like, "Get Chrome." And so she picks it up off the shelf. And I'm like, listen, if you're picking it up off the shelf, it's happening, And so I now own Chrome. And if anybody wants Thunder Road Vendetta Kickstarter edition standard with the wash cars and stuff and bullets, $50.
Yeah,
$50.
$50.
Oh, man,
so I got a pretty good deal on. I got a pretty deal on the one from AJ. I'm happy with it, and we there's numerous chats I'm on Facebook, right? But one of the things we talked about recently in one of our groups was the high cost of games, right? Zombicide, Marvel was blah blah blah, right? The Vendetta is this much, and it really comes down to, one, it's luxury, and we all know it's luxury, right? But like, we can say that game is crazy, but there's also the game that I spent a lot. Like, I can look at Vendetta, right, and go, oh, I wouldn't spend that much on that. But I bought Foundations of Rome last Gen Con, and I'm super happy with that one. Like, that gets played a ton. So, what are you willing to spend the money on? I don't want a $300 statue of Zombie Galactus, but doesn't mean I'm not going to spend $300 on something else. Yeah,
not
exactly.
Well, and I feel like I've been in the industry for long enough that I'm realizing I don't need the deluxe bits and bobs for all the games. So I'll buy a game at retail level, and if I really love it, I'll upgrade. If I'm actually going to play it more than once. So just try to be thoughtful about
Kickstarters and do more I want to play it first, and then I could find it if I really wanted.
Yeah, means we're getting old.
Yeah.
Best preview game that you saw at the con?
Yeah. So we, as LTN, worked with a game company called Envy Born Games. They have a few games out there, but one of the ones they're previewing is called Sirens. Were you able to? Did you all see that one? So Sirens,
I know the company, but I didn't see the game.
Yeah, we'll give you what it's about here quick. It's a quick and compact micro drafting game for 1 to 2 players, which you draft cards over the course of a couple rounds, and you construct a song for to lure sailors in their ship. So it's pretty small. Like, you're just laying cards out, but you're creating, you get to see the notes as you play the cards down. And he's going to have an app that scans the song when you're done with your game, and it will play the song for you, which I think that is just so unique.
That's really cool.
Nothing like that. I've not seen anything like that ever before. And I've seen a lot of games. Well, it's not out yet. It's not like you can't get it anywhere. But he had it in the booth if you asked to see it. But he was in the that first look preview, first look night. And so he had that one and another defrag game that was again like all of his games are real small box games that fit like all together in a little case. Eventually they will. And this one, like the art drew me in, the concept drew me in, being able to make a song. And I even said like, oh, I wish I was better at, playing music. I can play trombone. That's about it. I was like, I wish I was better at playing music. I would play this. And he's like, oh, well, actually I'll have an app. You can just scan it. And I was like, I'm sorry, what?
I see it on BGE now. Okay.
Yep. So when that comes out to where I can pick it up, I will absolutely pick that one up.
That's cool. No, that looks really cool. Right. I have a tough time with this one. I think that I'm gonna go with, and I was trying to pull up my coverage list. To try to jog my memory.
Good job having one.
What now?
Good job having a coverage list. That's
good. I try to. The past couple of years, I've been like, I can't do this.
You said Seafall? That was your
Seafall. Seafall's gonna be so good. Oh, yeah. Galactic Cruise. Duh. Cruise. Galactic Cruise is so good looking now. Ian O'Toole artwork. The thing is getting polished up. Edward, not sure if you're still in the
TK
comments.
King. Yep.
A year and a half ago, I don't know. Edward messaged me, said, "Hey, we're going to be at the same con. Come look at this." I was able to look at it early on. Like it's gotten to the point where I am excited about this game. I'm excited about the Kickstarter next year. Aaron and I got to sit down and just kind of see the demo of it. It's really solid. So
look for that one,
man. Yeah. So good.
Have you seen it, Matt? Have you seen it?
I haven't. I mean, if I have, I don't remember.
It's I mean, I'm gonna just keep talking about it because that's my pick also. So Galactic Cruise. Bob was the one that he tried it right down there, and I think Proto ATL. And he got he's like, you gotta check it out. It's to artwork. It's a Lacerda-esque heavy thinky game, and I was like, all right. So I had 3 of my friends who love Lacerda games. I'm like, let's go check it out first thing Friday morning. And he walked us through half-hour teach of how all the parts of the ships kind of work together, and we're just like, dude. And so I appreciate his hustle because sometimes a game gets dropped on Kickstarter and you're like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, no.
And he has been sharing it. He's been making sure people know about it. Here's the box cover. I'm excited because it looked like it was pushing buttons and things. I don't know if you've seen that picture, but that's
I recognize it.
But it's going to be great. I'm super excited, and I like that he's putting the work in. So when this hits Kickstarter, people are going to have known about it. They're going to be
absolutely
talking about it. We've got people who like ourselves, right, that are like, we love seeing the fun stuff that this game is doing. So it's going to be heavy, which I'm all in for. But Galactic Cruise is it's gonna be sweet.
Galactic Cruise is gonna be so good. And so if you're not on it already, check it out. Galactic Cruise. You gotta get to know it. So Edward's gonna be at Southern Fried, I believe, again this year. That's originally where we saw it, and so and I know it's been in development for a while, and I just love where it's gone and the changes that have been made. I think it's so good. So
sweet.
Cool. LTN. Should we talk a little LTN?
Yeah, what all? I don't know what all to say here. So I'm Matt. I'm this COO and founder, one of the founders of LTN. So LTN stands for Love Thy Nerd. Started about 5 years ago. Our big goal is to love and serve our nerdy neighbors, and we do that by showing the love of Jesus to nerds and nerd culture. So there you go. You can head there. We go to conventions. We stream on Twitch often. Our schedule is kind of changing here as we move forward, but Discord, we have 5-6 different podcasts, all the social media. So we're just looking for ways to, like I said, love and serve nerds. And so when we go to conventions, we usually bring a team of 10. When we go to Gen Con, we'll have a team of 22, where we activate people into gaming booths, where they can just serve the developers. So yeah, there's a little bit of the website. We have a whole summit coming up here in Texas where we're going to teach leaders how to love the nerds in their community better, because we think it's important. And for us, like, we see a big gap between church culture and nerd culture, and how they don't really love each other well. So how can we show them how to love each other well without being overly pushy, without being judgmental? So we're coming into these places just loving the people where they are, getting to know them, and through all that, like, we're going to sit down and play games with you. So if that's all you want to do with us, cool. Like, that's what we'll do. But we're constantly looking for better ways to love people, better ways to serve people. So yeah, it's been really good. I've been doing this type of work for a long time, and I think the church oftentimes gets a bad rap with they're more known for the things that they oppose, things they love, and so we want to come in and just love the people where they are. And for us, like, that's in the nerd game culture.
Yeah. I love the presence that you guys bring to conventions. When you guys are serving in a booth, it's very clear, like, you're trying to offer something to the publisher, to the people who are running that company, but also you're trying to get to know the people that are coming through the booth. You know, that's super important. I think of the places that I've felt welcomed. Aaron and I had a really good conversation because at Southern Fried Gaming Expo in Atlanta, in just a couple of weeks, Aaron, myself, Rick, and Bob, we're all going to be doing a panel on what it takes to start a community game night.
Oh, nice.
Bob has the experience from working with a group called Meeples of Columbus here in Columbus, Georgia. Rick started one at a local coffee shop called Refuge Coffee up where he lives. And Aaron and I have had like countless game night things as big as a couple hundred people, as small as like a couple dozen families. And so one of the things Aaron and I were talking about was the welcomingness of, like, the booths that you walk up to, that you feel like you're part of what's going on and they want you there, is so good. And then the ones that you walk by and they're like, you're seriously bothering me by existing.
Yeah, I don't care whether you're here or not, but really I actually do. Please don't. Yeah,
it's like, oh man.
And that's something we tell our people, is like, we want our people to know the games well enough that they don't have to be overly focused on the rules of it. They can be overly focused on the people that are coming up. And we, like, when we, activate our people in booths, we don't say like, hey, you represent LTN and you got to do exactly what LTN wants to do. Like, no, like, we're like, no, like, you represent whatever game company you're working for. Like, love and serve them well, like, and treat their customers, their people coming in to learn their game, like you would want to be treated. Like, just love them, teach them, joke with them, like, invite them back, because we all know, like, we go to enough conventions, there are a lot of developers that, I mean, we'll mention Envyborn here. Like, it was just going to be Matt. It was just him in his booth. And when we found that out, we're like, hey, let us like give you a couple people, because typically these game developers are like, they won't use the bathroom, or if they do, they're afraid they're going to miss a sale. They won't take any breaks. They barely eat. They're eating worse than we all just talked about, because like they can't leave. Like, and so like we saw this need where we're like, we want to like be like a light for this person and love them well, and love their people well, like they're coming up to try their game out. So we find it's just super important, and we're not going to be overly pushy. Like, are we Christians? Absolutely we are. But like, first off, we're just going to sit and we're going to play a game, or we're going to sit and teach a game. And from there, hopefully we build a relationship with you that we can have real conversations with. And what does that mean necessarily? I don't know. I don't have an end goal agenda. Like, we don't have like we have to do X, Y, and Z, when we leave. Like, what we're going to do is we're going to love these people because we don't know their stories. And so like, we want to know them, know their stories. And even if that's just it, like, that's worth it to us. So there you go.
Yeah, it's fruits, right? It's always fruits. And that's a beautiful thing, because it gets, in the hustle and the bustle of the con, right? It can get missed, the personal relationship, the hey, like looking somebody in the eye, are you doing okay, right? Do you need help, right? That's it gets easily missed for sure.
One of the games that we've mentioned today, and I don't want to like call the person out in case they're like watching, we just stopped, like they were brand new into the industry, brand new, first game. I saw that they had this look of something was going on. And so I just stopped and I said, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? Like, you want to talk about it? And like, just was able to get to know their story and why and how. And like, we're really good. Like, we're good friends. And like, they're friends with my family now. And like, it's not just like, it's just caring for the person instead of like, because there's so many people out there, like the people will come up and they don't care about the person. They care about this question that they've had about their game, and they care about the price of the game. And like, they don't care anything about the in-between. It's just like this, chrome and cardboard and components. So
yeah.
Sure.
Good.
Awesome. I'm glad you guys are around. I'm glad you guys are doing the work you do. You, Bubba, Luke now are some of my favorite people to run into and chat with. And
we love hanging out with you all as well.
Well, and you got a chance. We were at PAX East. Like, it was a blast. There weren't a ton of us at PAX East, and my wife, that was her first chance to kind of meet some of my nerdy friends in that world, and it was great, especially playing Mechanisms with you guys. Your reaction,
never forget.
Oh man, and her genuine, like, this is a game. I was like, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Derek Funkhauser, he made a game
about board mechanisms.
A game.
He made an activity.
Quotes around every part of it.
Yeah.
Speaking of games, we are onto the Game Chat Presents Pick 5. This is where we pick 5 games that fit a theme. Not a top 5, not a best 5, not a worst 5. Just show us 5 games. And I said, let's go with 5 games that you played at Origins. Maybe they were new, maybe they weren't. Just 5 games that you enjoyed playing in our 5-day extravaganza at Origins.
Now, I had planned to bring some games and be like, I played this game and I played this game, and I left them all on my table at home. So you'll just have to use your imagination and use your own fingers to type it into.
Is that not home?
Yeah, no, this is our office.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Are those, because it's driving me nuts, are those other LTN badges that I've never seen before?
Oh, all these? Yeah. Well, okay, these red and the blue ones, this is actually pre-LTN. But all of these are all of these are the conventions I've been to.
Nice.
Because I see different colored LTN badges.
Well, yeah, because when we ordered them, they're like, this is our normal right here. This is our natural color. And then we ordered the same because, you don't want to change your colors. And when they came, they were darker. We're like, Wilp, I guess this is our colors. We're changing our lanyard colors because we just ordered these, and now this is what we get. So yeah, this is minus the red and the blue at the beginning here. Yeah, all LTN. So
because I do like promos of cards and that, and I'm looking at these badges going, oh, I don't have those.
Well, I can probably get you some here. There's also LTN Con. We put on a couple conventions, and there's like a Deliverance sponsored LTN Con one here, and
nice.
Yeah. So 5 games. I played. Unmatched Brains and Bronze and Brain. The one with Spider-Man, She-Hulk, and Doctor Strange. I love Unmatched, and I have just wanted to play this one for a while. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, although I wasn't Spider-Man, I was Doctor Strange, and he tore through Spider-Man, no problem. And it was great. And I'll just keep getting all the Unmatched.
I've always wondered about Unmatched. I've never.
Oh, I love it. Like as a dueling game, it is so great. As a back like 1v1 or 2v2, like it's so fun, and you don't have to get Marvel. If Marvel licensing throws you off, yes. But if you didn't, everyone else you can get it and enjoy.
We've got 80 episodes of a series that you could watch if you want, called Friday Night Fight.
Who does?
Friday Night Fight? Me.
Oh, you and Aaron. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Matt, you may not know about Friday.
She's one.
I've heard of. Yeah. So Unmatched is wonderful, and I was able to finally play this one. Next one I will say is.
We're gonna go.
Oh wait, one at a time. But I won't. I'm changing it now. You'll never know what it's going to be.
There you go. Sequoia. So All Play was packed. All Play had some great games. I had never played Sequoia. Sequoia is actually part of the set with Mountain Goats that was crowdfunded. Sequoia, the reason why I went up to the booth was went up to this stand was because it was Can't Stop meets something else. I can't remember what it was. And I was like, that's a weird matchup. Let's see. You basically roll some dice, roll these tiny dice, allocate them onto a card. It's area control at its quickest, plays in 10 minutes. It's super easy. Kids, adults, we bought the 6-player expansion. It's very easy to play. It actually hooked me. And Aaron was surprised. Aaron was like, really? And I was like, yeah, I don't know.
Is it like Mountain Goats? I played Mountain Goats.
Mountain Goats. No, I think Mountain Goats is a little more straight. I don't know. This plays quicker than Mountain Goats.
Okay.
But it's just straight area control. Roll the dice, secretly allocate 4 of the 5. And it's like Can't Stop. You got to make combinations.
Gotcha.
But you're just doing area control stuff, and it's cool. It's quick. So
okay.
I'm still not sure how I feel about this game, but I'm going to keep playing it. Gap. I like it. I don't know if I love it. I don't. It's like somewhere between like and love right now for me. I need to play it a few more times. It's definitely played on the short side. It's beautiful. I love the foil, the cards, but quick, easy card game. Those are always a gimme for a con. So yeah,
that's the one where you play a number and you take like
all the same or one above, one below it.
Okay, that was almost on my list.
Yeah,
because I did enjoy it. At least the one I played with the people.
I played a few more times.
Next one for me, surprise, Crokinole. I had never played before, and
nice.
I feel like it's one of those games where, I've now learned it's been around since 1860, so it's been around for a while. I've had my chances, but this was the first convention where I felt like I could actually go up and play it, and it was great. We ended up buying one for LTN that we'll use for our game nights here in Southern Indiana, and it was awesome. And I took it home, and my kids have been playing it, and yeah, everyone's on board.
I feel like I'm a copycat because
what'd you have,
there's going to be some overlap. I am going with Crokinole. Also, this is Aaron carrying our brand new Crokinole board that we bought.
Captain America Shield. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, Captain America Shield.
There you go.
So, man, Brown Castle Games.
Some good games.
Shout out to Brown Castle. These boards are sick. They're amazing. Really great. The folks over there are super nice. Brown Castle Games. If you don't know them, go check them out. And if you want a Crokinole board, buy it from them. So.
Yeah, they are in Pennsylvania, I think.
Oh, okay. I thought they were in. Okay, I thought they were in Ohio. Okay.
I only say that because one of our guys met the owner and is now he's a licensed massage therapist, and now he set up an appointment with him or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Nice. My number 2 is probably the most played thing I've had since I got back. I love teaching this to people because it is such a fun, easy roll and rate. That's roll at the top.
Man, you guys are taking every freaking one of my games. I'm just
roll at the top. It's so good though. Yeah. Like I can't stand how good this game is. I accidentally punched a hole in my box cover. It's really hard to tell. I taped it up really good. But regardless of that, yes, I agree. All Play booth was the A+ really best booth, the easiest to see. Hey, that's the thing I want to play. I'll go right there.
Yep.
And so well designed. Chairs.
Some great teachers. Yeah. Great teachers over there too.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, number 3 for me is Smug Owls from Runaway Parade Games. I was able to demo this game a few years ago, and it's just never came out. Really quick. It can be quicker, as quick as you want it to be, party style game, where every round is a different question, and there are stacks of cards that you're flipping out. So it's going to be like, what is dry when it is thrown? And so everyone has to like think of an answer, and when you think of an answer, you slam your hand on the table, and the last person to do it is then the judge for the round, and you're trying to get to a certain amount of points. I like just how quick and easy it can be. Actually pulled it out the other night at home when we had some friends over. I was like, all right, let's hear everyone's answers, and just pulled it out. And we didn't play the full game. We just asked some funny questions, and you can get some really funny answers. You can get some really serious answers, and it's up to the judge to decide which is better.
Nice.
Yeah, we played that with 20 of us sitting around.
Yeah, there was a lot of us.
Yeah. It was a lot. It was fun.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Adventure Party from Smirk and Dagger. We stopped by the booth to see some. I was wanting to see the Boop Halloween edition because of my love for Halloween and our affinity for Halloween-based board games. And so we went over there, and Kurt was showing us a game called Adventure Party. You take a 20-sided die, you toss it behind a little screen, and everybody's in this D&D style RPG party. And what you do is you roll the 20-sided die, and you have to explain what happens when you use your weapon that you chose. You have to explain how you fought the dragon and what happened, the results of it. And everybody else around the table has to tell you what they believe your die roll was. And so based on one being like awful, I really botched this one, I almost killed myself, and 20, like I didn't get a scratch on me and that dragon's laying there dead. You have to explain it. And Aaron played it. We did a quick video of how the game works doing one round. And Aaron played with Will and Brian of Cloak and Meeple. Man, it was a lot of fun to watch. It was a fun storytelling game, and it's a game that I think anybody who enjoys the storytelling of an RPG but doesn't want to sit around and play for 6 to 8 weeks to battle some orcs, this is a game for them. Like, I could see busting this out after dinner with people who are kind of interested in RPGs. I would 100%.
Yep, we picked up the little like demo bag.
Yes.
I'm gonna play with the kids, and I think they're really gonna like it.
Yep. So,
my number 3 is another all-play game. I had a chance to learn it wrong from Derek, but I still enjoyed it. Enjoyed it more since we played it correct. That's QE.
Oh yeah,
had never played QE. It was fun. It's crazy. It's chaotic. Again, the components, like all plays just kicking butt. I mean, these games look great. And so, have you guys played QE?
Yeah, I think is it a remake? Because I feel like I played
I don't know if it is. Copy. It's the bidding game where you could bid any amount of money, even astronomical amounts.
Yeah, I have played it before. So yes, I have played it.
It's fun. It's from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's a couple of years old, but it's one I've kind of had an eye on for a while.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. It was fun.
Nice.
Very silly.
Yeah, I really enjoyed I think I played it once, and it was a lot of fun. Okay, my next one, number 4. Is also from Smirk and Dagger, and it's a game I wasn't sure what I thought about, but I got pulled into a demo, and it's Behexed. Did you all have a chance to play this one? It is like hot potato with powers, and you have to play cards in order to pass the potato or the negative points on, and you can pass them like across the table, like to your left or right, depending on where you are, or like on the diagonal, depending on what you play. So wasn't sure I was going to think about it, but I played and I really enjoyed it. Ended up with a copy. We're going to probably play it during a live stream, or at least during a game night here coming up in the future.
Nice. That was one we previewed last year at Origins that really liked the look of it. It was on Kickstarter. Gap is on my list also. Gap, I think I'm in the same boat, a very similar boat, not the same boat as Isaac. I like Gap, so I have decided that I do like it. I dislike it at 5 players. I will not play it at 5 players again.
I haven't gone to 5 yet.
I think that I've played it 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I think that the game is tedious and annoying at 5. And the reason why is because the distribution of numbers and how many points people commonly get are so low that the game drags out. In the rule book, it says that you can play a long game, which is 75 points.
Can you imagine?
Okay, you're making between 3, and Erin yesterday scored the highest amount of points I've seen in 20 games. She scored 12 points. Okay.
Wow.
20 times we played.
Doing that.
12 points is the most that if I played this game for 2 hours, I would jump off of a cliff. Like, I really like the game, but I could never play to 75. And whoever put 75 in the rule book I think
they've never played the game before. Yeah.
You're playing
I'm just
solo.
now seeing this. It's 2-6. Why would you put a 6th player in here?
I don't know.
That makes me angry all of a sudden. I thought it was a 2 to 5 player game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
play a 6 player. Maybe you'll love it.
No, I don't think so.
Don't knock till you try it.
Number 5, right? Round 5 here.
Okay, sorry.
This is our 5th game. This is the last one.
I think you still have 4. Yeah, it's only 4.
1, 2. I do such a horrible job with this organization. We talk about this all the time. Another game I enjoyed playing. I bought 2 copies. This one's
dang, blast it. Are we all going to talk about this one?
Splito's so good.
Splito's Splito. Amazing, great, super stupendous. Such an awesome game. Love it.
8. So good.
It's super good. Super good. Number 5.
Hey, number 5. Surprise! It's Splito as well. What you didn't mention is you are on a team with the person on your left and the person on your right, sort of, but they're not on the same team as the other. So you're trying to play cards between you and meet different conditions between the two of you to get the most points. I thought it was great. So great.
Splito is so good. It's one of the best card games out there. Roll to the Top's on my list. This is still in shrink because this is not my copy. Rick White owns this copy, and I'm supposed to get it to him. Don't know how I'm going to get it to him, but he paid for it. So I now have.
Oh, he said give it to me. That's weird.
Do you want it? I can just give it to you.
Rick, speak up now, or forever.
Rick, if you don't want this copy that you already paid for,
my dad
PayPal'd me. Rick hasn't been harassing us today. It's weird.
I know. That's why the show's been so lame. No.
Wow.
Sorry, Matt.
No, I feel great.
I realized I skipped. What was your favorite experience? I realized I skipped a question. Most memorable thing at the con.
We're now at 10 minutes in. I think we're good.
Yeah. But my number 5 game is part of my most memorable experience at the con, and that's this gem. Matt literally shuddered the last time I asked him to play this. He's like,
I think you told me, and this was my most memorable moment of the whole convention. You told me that out of the 7 or 8 times you've played it, you'd never lost before.
Never.
And then came Matt Warmbier into your life, and
I was like, wow, how is he? And Bubba was trying. He's like, I think this is how he's going to answer this question. And then everything our first instinct was, he's like, nope, he'll never answer it like that. Blob Party, for those who don't know, great party game. It's you're trying to get on the same team. You're trying to give the same answers. So everybody starts blobbing together. If they give the same answers, you have 7 questions to get everybody given the same answers. And at one point, there was 20 plus of us as one blob, and just Matt
and just
one
me
person that we couldn't bring
That's
in.
Rough.
And
it was like just a part of principle. I didn't want to be a part of your blob anyway. So.
But yes, great party game. Really enjoyed it.
It was fun, and I will play it again. Bring in your buggy board game.
Gen Con this year. They got a limited release coming out. WizKids does so.
Perfect.
We like to wrap up with what are you playing now? So we talked about a bunch of games. What's hit your table since you've been back home?
Oh, my table. Shoot. I was just going to say Zelda. I've been playing
so much Zelda. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Zelda's
I've been playing a ton of Zelda and a ton of Marvel Snap. That's kind of like where I've been now.
Marvel Snap so hard.
Now, have I played other things? Absolutely. I played what's the Stonemeyer game? The boat one?
Seafall.
No, it starts with an L.
Seafall?
Lacrimosa.
Whatever it's called. It was very
Seafall?
fun. No, not Seafall.
Flotilla.
No, yeah. Skip me. Skip me.
Ryan, Seafall? That's what you've been playing?
Seafall? Is it Seafall?
Yes.
So
no, it's Libertalia.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yes, there it is.
Yep.
Ryan, what have you been playing?
So we've been playing a lot of small party games. We've had 3 birthdays over the past couple of days. So Chicken has hit the table a lot.
One.
Chicken from Keymaster Games, Scott Alms. This is fantastic. One of the best push your luck games around. Chicken.
Great.
And we bust out Cover Your Cookies, which is Cover Your Assets reskin, but they do something else in this game. They have this crumb collector.
Crumb counter.
Yep. If you screw over the same person over and over and over, you're literally pouring points into their pile, because every time you steal from the same person, they're getting points. So you can't target one person over and over. I think it makes the game a lot better, and it makes it less less vicious, especially when playing with smaller people. So
totally agree. Great version of that game. Beck Family Strikes Again. This is a game I picked up from Hachette, Studio H, Vivarium. I was mesmerized by the artwork.
Looks cool.
This is it's a grid system of 4x4, and you're collecting cards. They're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4 left, 1, 2, 3, 4 top. The unique thing about this game, and my son and I played it, we loved it. One, like I said, the art's amazing. It's got, I hear the clank, dominoes. And these dominoes give you the coordinates. So you have to use your dominoes. So you can pick from column 3, row 4, or column 1, row 2. And so it makes it very tight with what you can pick. And then you're constantly rotating a domino, picking a new one. So really, really enjoyed this game. Way more than I thought when we first played it. So like, that's been done. And then we played it. I was like, oh, shoot, that's really good.
That's cool.
Highly, highly recommend checking out Vivarium, Studio H.
That's awesome. Very cool. Well, Matt, where can people find you online?
Me personally, type in Matt Prime at most places, but you can also find me hanging around at Love Thy Nerd, lovethynerd.com. If you want to join our Discord, at lovethynerd.com/Discord. Basically, if you head there, you can find all of our stuff.
That's right. Awesome. You can find us at oneboardfamily.com and at oneboardfamily all over the place, including the new threads. Check us out on there. Day 2. We're not as cool as
day 1 right here, baby.
Day 1. We couldn't
first hour.
Day 1. I had to wait. To see what people were saying. See if it's worth.
I'm going back to Hive.
You can find us gaming with Sidekicks at all your favorite social media channels on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Facebook, and especially over on TikTok, where we're doing most of our content. Getting some review how to play for Vivarium out this week, and just having fun. And there's just a cool world of board game peeps over there at TikTok. If you're not over there, it's worth getting over. And Luke's over there. Luke's like super active.
Luke's on it. I'm getting too elderly too.
I did see you in Luke's videos though, so
I make present my presence known sometimes.
Guest star. You don't
guest star.
Guest star. Speaking of which, thank you for joining us as our guest star tonight, Matt. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It's been good.
Also, shout out to Sticker Bob.
Mine's
and I don't know what I did with my Matt sticker. I have it somewhere. I gotta find it.
Mine is right next. Bob is right next to my Matt on my Yeti.
Perfect.
Always with us.
Always with us.
Our hearts.
Anyway, thanks so much for coming on, Matt. It's been really fun, and thanks for covering Origins from the Love Thy Nerd perspective. So
absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You guys have a great night. See ya.
See y'all.